Hey guys, welcome back to the Culés podcast. Welcome back to another video. On today's video, guys, we're going to be talking about Pedri, giving you guys an update in regards to his injury, but also looking at some of the words and quotes from Pedri speaking to the media. We're going to be looking at that as he has said some interesting quotes. And so we're going to be diving in. But before I get started on the video, guys, make sure to follow me on all of my social media platforms. Everything's posted down below in the description. Go over there and check me out. That way you guys can stay up to date with everything that I do on the channel. And as well, the link to become a member is also posted down below. But as always, guys, let's get started with the video. All right, guys, let's get started with the video and let's first talk about Pedri's injury update. What is the latest in regards to that? And there is some good news. Reports are saying that he is recovering very well from his injury and he isn't ruled out for that game against Chelsea later in the month. Now, Barcelona, they're not going to be taking any risks in regards to Pedri, and no risk should be taken in regards to Pedri. Pedri should be returning to 100% before he even steps out there on the pitch. I do not want to see Pedri anywhere near the pitch if he's not at 100%. He's a player who's so key to this team that we need him available for the majority of the season, and thus no risk to be taken with Pedri. I'd much rather have Pedri not involved in that game and potentially even lose it, rather than sacrifice Pedri and take a risk. Because the season is very long, lots of football is left to be played, and I want Pedri to be recovering and be at 100%. And so that's the latest in regards to his update. Very good news that he's recovering very well, and he could be returning very soon. Let's see if he returns against Chelsea or in the games after, but positive news. And moving on now, guys, I'm going to be talking about some quotes, as Pedri was asked a variety of topics, talking about, the Champions League, difficult moments throughout his career, his love for Barcelona. And he starts off by talking about becoming one of the leaders in the dressing room after his, nearly 5 years at the club. And it's crazy to think that Pedri, he's already been here for so long. He's a player who's so talented and so young, he has so much experience under his belt. And so Pedri, he responds as follows. He says, "I have experienced a big change since I arrived. It feels like it was yesterday, and it's already been 5 years. In this time, I have learned a lot from my teammates and the coaches I've had. And yes, now I am considered one of the veterans of the team." And that's just a reflection of how important Pedri is, but also how young this team is. Because as much as we say, this team is so talented, we expect this team to win so much, Pedri, he hasn't even reached his mid-20s. He's still in his early 20s. He's still growing as a footballer, but he's so good, already the best midfielder in the world, that sometimes we forget about that, the lack of experience at times from some of these players. And I'm not saying that Pedri isn't experienced. I think Pedri is, as he said, one of the veterans in this team, but he's molded into a leader in these past years. Continuing on, Pedri talks about his goal scoring record and its importance, as there is some criticism, early on, mostly from Madrid fans, talking about, oh, he's just only spins, he only dribbles, he does nothing of importance. But this is how Pedri responds. He says, "I give it quite a lot of importance. Everyone tells me that I have to score more goals and that I have to try my luck from distance, that I have to arrive in the box. I am aware. I have to improve my goal scoring record. My brother has challenged me to hit a target this season, but I won't say what it is." And that's just because, if, Pedri says, oh, it's 15 goals, throughout the season, then there's going to be a lot of media pressure for Pedri to hit that goal. And so I think it's very smart from Pedri sort of reframing and not answering it. Very smart from Pedri. Pedri continues on, and he talks about his connection and love for Barcelona. And he says, "Yes, it is. When I was born, they put the Barça shirt on me. My grandfather and my father were die-hard culés, and they passed that on to me. I am a culé who has the luck of playing for his team. I am living a dream, and I am aware of it every day when I wake up." And just so you guys know, in regards to what Pedri is speaking about, these two photos, or right here, you can see Pedri out on the left, and right here out on the right, but family Barcelona fans, and it's crazy how Pedri he has become a Barcelona player, and you've seen similar stories throughout the world of football. But it's super exciting to have Pedri, tell that story and how he was a Barcelona fan early on, and his family as well, and he has now become a Barcelona player. What a story! But then he continues on, and he talks about that period, which was very difficult, his most difficult moment as a professional. And he says as follows. He says, the period when I was injured most often, when I didn't have the continuity I needed, it was about understanding my body and knowing what it needed at each moment. Injuries are tough, but they teach you to value what you have. And so that season, I would say under Xavi, the 23-24 season, where Pedri, he was just unavailable for big periods of the season, just having injury after injury and after injury. And under Hansi Flick, he's been able to have some continuity. He's been able to play regularly. And this is, I would say, the first time under Hansi Flick's tenure in which we haven't been able to rely on Pedri at all. And I'm surprised it took this long, because when you think about it, Barcelona and the Spanish national team have been used Pedri like a bar of soap. But Pedri, he has adapted so well to Hansi Flick's system. He's performing extremely well, and his body is recovering well. And we all hope that he's able to recover and return to the pitch very soon, as we opened on earlier on in the video. Pedri, he now talks about his connection with Frankie de Jong, his partner in crime, so to say. And he says, it's just that now we play much closer together than before. And that shows. Maybe from the outside, you don't see how good Frankie is, but he has incredible quality and a lot of power to break lines. I'm very happy to have him by my side. And it's surprising because Frankie de Jong is one of those players that when players come to Barcelona, they always say the player that surprised me the most in regards to talent and everything, other than Lamine Yamal, is Frankie. And tons of praise have been going to Frankie de Jong, and he's such a technical midfielder. He's up there in regards to like a Pedri, those big world class midfielders who are just magical out there on the pitch, and that's what Pedri is giving alongside Frankie de Jong. And under Hansi Flick, that connection, that partnership in the base of midfield has been so amazing. Now, Pedri shifts the conversation. And he talks about the Champions League, a trophy that we haven't won since 2015, and that we want to make a priority. Pedri, he says as follows. He says, yes, I prefer a collective prize over an individual one. I prefer Barça, which is my team, to win rather than me winning a prize alone. And yes, this season is one where I see the team having more possibilities in the Champions League. Last year, we were on the verge of the final, and this year, we will give our all because it's a competition we all want to win. He talked about he was asked on whether he would get a Champions League tattoo if they did win. He says, I don't get a tattoo because my mother doesn't let me. Stop doing silly things, she tells me. I don't know what I could promise, but what is certain is that my teammates and I will give our lives to achieve it. And that's something that I want to have burning throughout this entire roster, this entire squad. This team needs a Champions League trophy. Barcelona have gone way too long without one, and you've seen the pressure from Real Madrid fans, from opposition fans in the Premier League, even some fans from La Liga, from small teams, and even some Barcelona fans who are frustrated at Barcelona's performance. But they've all criticized Barcelona in recent years for the lack of ability to go far in the competition, and that's changed under Hansi Flick. We can go far, but the point right now is, can we win it? That's the goal that we do want to achieve. And Pedri, he sends a message to the fans to end off, the video. He says, tell them to be calm. We are the first to realize what we are doing and what we need to improve to reach last year's level. We will correct the mistakes, and they will see the best Barca again. And those were the words from Pedri, sending a message to the fans. And I have faith in this team, guys. As I've been saying throughout the season, time and time again, even though Barcelona haven't had an excellent start of the season, even though we've had games in which honestly, things were looking very, very grim. I'm still very optimistic of what Barcelona can do. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect. There's lots of work to be improved on, but this team has the capability to go far and win trophies. It's just, can, number one, we be fit, have all our key players available, and secondly, do we want the hunger, do we have it, and the desire to win it all? Because the quality is there. But guys, that was it for the video. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. What do you guys make of everything that I have discussed? And I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace out, guys.